Ken Geiser is a graduate of George Washington High School. Don't be so excited yet. I didn't even finish. At Westchester University. He earned a master's degree in exercise physiology from Temple and another master's degree from Textile University. In total, Ken has taught at Philadelphia Public Schools and coached in the Philadelphia Public League for 37 years, right? Ken started coaching at Vaux Middle School, where he coached track and field, went on to become athletic director at Ben Franklin High School, where he coached football for 15 years and baseball for 14 years. In 2007, while coaching at Ben Franklin, he was awarded the Philadelphia District 12 Football Coach of the Year Award. He moved to his alma mater, George Washington High School, in 2009, where he served as the athletic director and continued to coach. While at Washington, they won the Public League championship in football and in baseball, making Ken one of only 2 people to ever win a Public League baseball championship and coach a Public League championship baseball team. Ken had the honor of being named the head coach for the 2014 Carpenter Cup baseball team. Also, and this is very interesting, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln are the only 2 schools that we know of that play an annual Jackie Robinson baseball game every year to honor that great player. Ken served as board member in the Philadelphia District 12 Baseball Coaches Association for 12 years. He's been involved with the Philadelphia City All-Star Game Executive Committee. He's been on so many committees, I don't know how he has time to even be home. Ken has served as the chairman of Public League Football for the past 14 years and Public League Softball for the past 5. He currently serves as the School District of Philadelphia new athletic director trainer. He trains the new ADs. Ken was the winner of the 2020 NIAAA State Award of Merit, which is given to the most outstanding athletic director in the state. He's a certified athletic administrator. He also recently became a certified certified master athletic administrator. He's one of just 41 in the entire state of Pennsylvania. Also, when he's not doing all those, Ken and his wife, as members of St. Albert the Great Parish, he was a CYO board member for 15 years, and he and his wife Lori have also served as hosts for pre-K at St. Albert's for 16 years. A man of many, many talents, a great player, a great coach, a great administrator, and a great credit to his school and to public education. Ken Geiser.
First of all, I wrote this speech about a week ago, and I didn't tell anybody. I was too humble, I thought it would be brag. My friends are here, and I appreciate it. My school is here, and I appreciate that too. When I look at this year's recipients, I thought to myself, wow, what are some big names up here on the stage? Mike Capriati, a friend of mine, and a great coach. Mike, thanks. Pat Waniger, I'm sure you're happy that LaSalle is starting up baseball again. Fantastic. Paul Westhead, it's a pleasure to be up on the same stage as you, so thank you. District 12 members, Mike Hawkins, who's not here today, he has family issues, and then Joe Setti, Jim Murray, I had the opportunity to serve on District 12 with, Pat Manzi, Ed McGettigan and Barry Struby are here tonight, athletic directors and influential people in the public league. I just have a couple quotes. Many years ago, Carol Cipriani was the athletic director at Kensington High School, and she was retiring. And she said this, and I remembered it, and I use it often. We take our jobs seriously, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. And that's really how I live my life, and that's really how I've administered athletics at Ben Franklin and George Washington High School. I'm going to acknowledge Tommy DeFelice and Roscoe Natali. They're not here tonight, but I learned as a young coach, they always ask, Kenny, how's the family and how are your kids? And I try to do that with the younger coaches now. It's very important, and I appreciate that. And lastly, to Ernie Gallagher and Tim Gallagher and all the other officials in the room. If I say you helped, that would be an understatement. As football chair, I would not have been able to do my job without your assistance. I truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Like I said, I didn't know they were going to be here, but my friends are in my speech, so it's just a coincidence. I grew up in Parkwood where kids played multiple sports. We became better at some and we were okay at others. Taking part in athletics, I have the same friend group for the past 52 years. We met at Parkwood, on the fields at Parkwood, and we're still friends. We still vacation together. We went to Napa in August. We still go down the shore together.
You're getting old!
Yeah, we are getting old. For those of you that are older, you know, my friends were Catholics, I was a public. You know what I'm talking about? Then that goes back a long way. We all played for Parkwood, and then we either went to Ryan or we went to Washington. I went to Washington, they all went to Ryan. My friend Eddie Hughes, was the 1979 Daily News Athlete of the Year. He was pitcher and quarterback at Ryan, and then he went on to Bucknell and starred there. My friend Rick here, with his wife Lynn, both George Washington grads. Rick was a pitcher at George Washington and went on and pitched 4 years at Textile. Lynn was a cheerleader at Westchester University. Kenny Fletcher opened up his own business and did really, really well, him and his wife Kathy. My friend Fran for Liberty Coke, who sponsored that table, he started the business in Philadelphia and is doing a tremendous, tremendous business. And his wife Faith played basketball at Archbishop Bryan. Their daughter was a 1,000-point scorer for Mount St. Joseph's and state champion, and went on and a scholarship to Lafayette University. Faith's favorite song, one of her favorite songs, is By Dirt. And a line in that song is, find something that you love and call it work. And that's what I did. I found something that I love. I love being around the kids. I enjoy coaching, mentoring, teaching, and I'm retiring in June, but I'm still have to find something to do. I wrote a speech and it's 2 pages. I'm not going to go through all this. Bill read most of it, but my wife and I are members of St. Albert the Great. I know Juliana's probably not here, but she's from St. Albert's, and we really appreciate that. Great job. During that pre-Cana, we would have to talk. And Catholic couples know what that is. Catholic couples have to go through something called pre-Cana, and that's a day of thinking, talking, working things out. And I'm Protestant. My father was Catholic, my mom's Protestant. I was raised Protestant, but we're raising our kids Catholic. So every time that when we would have to give our talk, Lori and I would go up there, and I would always say that Lori is the nicest person I ever met in my life. And I mean that. She knows that. She's heard that many times. I began coaching at Vaux Middle School, and things were a little different back then. I coached track, and kids got on public transportation to go to track meets. You would give them a token, they would go to the track meet, and then they would get a token and come back. That wouldn't fly now, but that was what we did. I'm cutting some of this out. Ibrahim, I don't know if it's better to go first and sit there or go last and wait, but at Ben Franklin, I became the head coach, and I talked to Rich Yankowitz. And Rich Yankowitz is the winningest coach in public league boys basketball at Dobbins. He coached Bo Kimball and Hank Gathers. And the Yanks line to me was, Ken, when I took over this job, I felt like I had no idea what I was doing, that I would never be able to last. And that was 25, 30 years after he became the coach. And that's exactly how I felt when I became the head coach at Ben Franklin High School. At Ben Franklin at high school, we instituted mandatory tutoring. And Ben Franklin's in North Philadelphia. At 3 days a week at the end of practice between 5:30 and 7, it was mandatory that kids would go back and have mandatory study hall. And they did it. On Thursdays, my wife was staying home. She was staying home raising the kids. Somehow we did that, we worked it out. But on Thursdays, Lori would come to my school and sit in the classroom next to my office and tutor kids one-on-one. She's a coach's wife, but she's also my best friend, and she's fantastic, so thank you. So I have the mic, and I have your attention, thank you. So I'm going to do a little bragging now. Since I have the microphone, Lori, nicest person I ever met. She's a reading specialist. She's the best reading teacher I've ever met. If anybody has a child who needs help reading, she is the one. Not because she's my wife, because she is so passionate about what she does. She's a great mother and a great, yeah, she does the job. One side note is when we talked about it at pre-K, and also when we moved into our house 27 years ago, our neighbor said, you know what we do? We have coffee in bed. So that's something we continue to do. Even at every school morning, we still have coffee in bed. And we talk about the day ahead of us. What's going to happen? What do we have to do? When the kids were younger, who's running here, who's running there? I have 3 children. My daughter Amanda now is in her 3rd year of a PhD at Berkeley in California. My son Zachary was a swimmer and crew in high school. He continued 4 years of crew at LaSalle University, and Zach took the SATs in 7th grade because of his standardized test that he was taking with my high school kids, but in 7th grade he took the SATs, and it was a pretty cool experience. My son Kenny just finished class tonight and jumped on the train to get up here, and I appreciate that with my whole heart. He'll be graduating Temple in May. He's in the honors program, and he's been on the dean's list every single semester while he was there. I am proud of both of you, and Lori too. My sister's here with her husband Mike. This was all a surprise. The George Washington family, I know it's late, I know you have little ones at home, and I appreciate you hanging in there. Greg Tyndall, whose mother-in-law, wife, and daughter are 3-generation Bambies, so that's a great thing right there. But thank you, everybody. I want to brag. I'm just put some names out there real fast of some of the kids that I had to. I follow them. I'm on Facebook. I follow. I don't put anything on Facebook. It's all the older guys. That's the internet, and it's a fad. It's probably going away. So, real quick, some names. Sean Murphy, who I taught at Boston. Ben Franklin is now coaching and teaching in the Philadelphia Public League. Eileen Medley, now the head coach at Ben Franklin High School. Chris Poland, who was my assistant, is now coaching at Bartram High School. Jamel Higgins, who played for me at Ben Franklin and then received a full scholarship to Lehigh University and graduated. And last but not least, Andre Taylor, who is now the oral historian at William & Mary University. So, as coaches, as teachers, as mentors, we love to see our kids do better than what we have, and that is certainly true for my kids and a lot of those kids that I have a chance to teach and coach. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Congratulations to all of you.